I do want to get into, of course, your latest song, "Going for Broke," because
Yes.
it's a very catchy song. I think it's like many other songs, talks about maybe breakups and just struggling in relationships. But I do want to talk about one particular line because it talks about, you say in the song, "When I gave you my heart, I wasn't going for broke." Now, I want to play devil's advocate because if that's from your perspective, you're saying I gave you my heart, but I wasn't going for broke, meaning you weren't giving your all. So I
Yeah.
just want to know what
Well,
that
it's
means
kind of a
exactly.
double meaning. I wasn't going for broke. Like, I wasn't going for you breaking my heart. I wasn't going for crying in my bedroom. I was going for falling in love with you. I was going for us being an end game, but I wasn't going for a breakup. So, yeah, me and the writers on that one, we really tried to get as many double meanings as possible in the hook. So, we tried to do the money thing where you're going for broke, going all in, but also the heartbreak part of it. Like, because most relationships you go into, you're not going in thinking that your heart's gonna break.
Of course, yeah. And I know, talking about like heartbreak and I know Taylor Swift. You obviously love Taylor Swift. She's a big inspiration for you, and she's known for some of her songs being about, in relationships and breaking up and stuff like that. So I wonder with you, are you inspired by her because of that, or like where are you looking for inspiration when it comes to writing music? Is it just relationships? What else?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely get a lot of inspiration from my daily life, relationships, like you said. But just being as a songwriter, I always have my songwriter spidey senses on. Like, if I'm driving down the road, I make sure a lot of the time I don't even have music on. I'm just trying to pay attention to other people's lives and see what I can find. And usually I can grab a cool title from a situation that's I have nothing to do with, just something about my surroundings. So I do a lot of that, but yeah, growing up with an artist like Taylor Swift, I definitely learned that from her and her talking about that. And yeah, very lucky to grow up in a generation with a girl like that, just writing so many songs. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, speaking of Taylor Swift, you've mentioned how, I think when you recorded your first EP was at the same studio as where she put out her first EP or album, I guess, right?
Yeah, her first album was recorded at Dark Horse Recording in Nashville, and that's where I got to record my first EP, and it was so cool. I was only 13. Yeah, I was 13, and I was just dying seeing her plaque on the wall. It was so cool.
Yeah, and what's wild about your story is you're 20 years old.
I'm 21. I just turned 21 in September, actually.
Happy birthday. There you go. And you can
Thank
finally
you.
be treated at 21. So, 21, but you've been like basically performing or singing, I would say, for like 15, 16 years because I think you said you put out your first song or made your first song with your dad when you were 5. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yeah. So my dad's a songwriter, and I grew up just basically as soon as I could talk, I was writing songs with him. So I don't know a life without writing songs. But yeah, basically, I've been doing it since I was 5 years old. When I was 7, that's when I learned how to play the guitar, and that's when I really got serious about it. Because once I could put the chords to the lyrics, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do.
Do you remember the first song, what it was?
Yeah, well, I think the first song I wrote by myself was like I miss you. I don't think it had a title, but it was like I miss you. You're as twinkly as a star. Thank you for taking me to the park. I like your sparkly shoes and I like your dress. You're a perfect artist. That was like the chorus I wrote, and I wrote it for my parents.
Great. And then you said you got your first guitar at 7. So I guess, yeah, again, just start off really young. I want to know about the inspiration from your grandparents because I know you talk about in one of your songs how your grandmother would always say something to your grandfather about his boots.
Yeah, so my single before going for broke is called Car Heart to Heart. And this one I got inspiration from my grandparents from. So Carhartt is also a brand that everyone is wearing now, especially guys in Tennessee and even Canada. I see guys wearing Carhartt all the time. The hardworking class always wearing Carhartt. But I grew up watching my grandfather wear Carhartt, and he owned a service station in Newfoundland, Canada, and it was an auto body shop too. So he was always blue collar, working like 8 hours a day, so hard. And our grandparents' house was right next door to the garage. So I would go to dinner at their house and then watch him come home from work every day sharp at 6 p.m. sharp every day, and he'd be a mess, like grease everywhere because he was working all day. And my grandma would always say, don't come in with your work boots on. But sometimes she would let it slide because she really just missed him and wanted to give him a hug and kiss, and it was super cute. So that's the inspiration I put into the song. And there's a line in Carhartt that says, you can come in with your work boots on. So yeah.
Funny because Carhartt, yeah, like it's really popular now, and people are reselling it for like an absurd amount of money.
Yeah. Oh, I bought a jacket. I bought a Carhartt jacket for the song, and it wasn't cheap.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. By the way, I'm just super random, but do you know why? Unfortunately, your music, like, I guess your first EP, it's not on Spotify. Are you able to talk about that or no? Do you know why?
Yeah, I can talk about. I actually haven't talked about this before, but I will give you the inside scoop. So, I obviously have grown up a lot since 13 when I put that out. When I came out with my first single, my rebrand, Southern Draw, about a year ago now, it was a top 40 hit on Canadian country radio, and that's when I really found what I wanted my voice to sound like and the sound I like doing. So it was a total rebrand, and that was going to be my first time basically being introduced to the music industry as an adult and as fans. And I just wanted people to hear my sound as the way I wanted this new sound to go. And you grow up a lot from 13 to 20, so there's definitely growth happening there. I still love all the music that I made, but again, there were songs that I wrote when I was 12, 13, so I'm proud of them, and I still get to listen to them. But I want people's first impression to me now, to be of me now, this new stuff that I have going on, especially this time as an artist. Like, I'm in a very new stage where I'm getting introduced to a lot of new people, so that's what I'd like them to hear first.
Yeah, no, totally fair. And talking about your music, you mentioned Southern Drawl, the little
Yeah.
L or parentheses. Yeah, talk about that, I guess, because again, I think it's like is it a double entendre or?
Yeah, we have a double meaning there. So Southern draw obviously is the accent, but in this song we're talking about the Southern draw, how they draw you in, the guys with the Southern accents. We're big on double meanings around
Okay,
here.
well, then I have to ask. I mean, I know you don't have, I know you don't want to maybe compare, but like Newfie guys, Nashville guys, oh,
Yeah, so I mean, moving to Tennessee, you meet a lot of Southern guys, and like I said, the accent is pretty contagious. So we wrote a song about it, and it was a really, really fun song. I put it out with my buddy with Friends, who's my producer, and he's producing all this new stuff I have coming out. Super talented guy. But we had a lot of fun marketing the song. It's just a really fun song. So we went on to Broadway in Nashville and just went up to random strangers, was like, hey, you want to listen to our song? And they would listen to it, and we'd film them and get their raw reaction. And it was an awesome reaction because it was a really fun song. And it ended up going all the way top 40 on Canadian country radio and got us a CCMA nomination too.
yeah, no, amazing. That's amazing. I learned about Gordy Sampson only because of you,
Oh, no
who's
way.
worked with like Carrie Underwood, Keith Urban, Faith
Yeah.
Hill, a million people, all these huge talents. Talk to me about Gordy Sampson and how you came across him.
Yeah, so I mean, Gordy is just a huge inspiration for me. He's from Cape Breton Island in Canada, which is not too far from Newfoundland. Cape Bretoners and Newfoundlanders have a bond. So when I moved down to Nashville, he was super kind to me, and it just felt like another East Coaster was, here in this big city, and his whole family was super sweet to me when I moved here, and they still are. But I got to work with him on a song, and it's going to come out in the new year. And it's a really sad song, but we wrote it together, and he produced it, and I'm very excited about it. It was really such an honor to work with him because, like you said, his Grammy's sitting there on the piano while we're working, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool to see that in real life. But he's just a really great guy and all around good dude, which is amazing to have in a city full of nobody you know when you first move here.
Fair enough. Going back to Going for Broke, I don't know if it's related to this, but I saw on one of your TikToks you mentioned how you flew to another country for a first date.
Yeah, so I mean, I was kind of exaggerating a tad because I do kind of split my time between the US and Canada, but it is true. I like catching a flight if it's important. I'll catch a flight for a good guy, not a bad guy, until you find out they're bad. But yeah, I was trying to get my fellow TikTokers to tell me about there are times they were going for broke because let me tell you, falling in love with a guy can be kind of expensive.
Yeah, especially if it's in a different country.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. So what's the plan then? I guess because again, you're now like releasing more music, and I assume there's an album or an EP coming shortly, or
Yeah, there's definitely going to be an EP coming out in the new year full of a bunch of other bops, fun ones like Going for Broke and Southern Draw, Carhartt. And then we have some sad ones too that have been living in my phone files forever that I'm super excited to show that part of me because I feel like the last few releases have been pretty upbeat and fun, but I definitely have some sad ones up there that I'm very excited to share. But yeah, I really feel like these past few years since moving to Nashville, I found my voice and the music that I want to make and share with everybody. So I'm really looking forward to an EP body of work to showcase.
yeah, absolutely. And again, going back to you being just a big Taylor Swift fan, I wonder, I'm sure you've thought about like, oh, it would be a dream to open for her at some point. Because you have people like Gracie Abrams who, she like everyone, every artist you start as no one knows you, and then you work your way up, and now she's
Mhm.
open for Taylor Swift. So I wonder, like, have you thought about that? Are you trying to manifest that?
Oh,
Like, are you thinking about things like that in the future?
100%. One of my biggest goals for this next year is to be an opener for a supporting act for somebody on tour. I just want to go on tour really bad because I love performing and I really feel connected with an audience. So it's definitely my goal to go on tour with somebody this year. But yeah, Taylor Swift would definitely be like the biggest goal ever. I mean, I just grew up with her music and like you said, what she's done for the artists that have opened for her, their careers have just changed overnight because her fans are just die hard.
Yeah. Have you ever gone as her for Halloween?
Oh my goodness, that's such a smart idea. I haven't gone for her before, but I'm actually like today's Halloween and I don't have a costume yet. Maybe I go as Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people do go as her. So I was gonna say, ask you, so no plans for Halloween?
So I do have plans tonight. My friends and I we're gonna go do some sort of Halloween festivities, and I do want to hand out candy too to the kids that are coming to my door because I think it's just the cutest thing to see everyone's costumes. I'm
Yeah.
kind of between. I was thinking of being basic and doing something like a cheetah because it's easy, but then I was also thinking maybe being the Louvre bandits because that's really funny.
Very topical. I worked at a party at an event, and yeah, there was these people that were dressed as them, and it's very smart. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I like smart costumes. Last year I was a chef's kiss. So I dressed up as a chef with kiss marks all over the apron and a chef's hat. It was cute. I like weird things like that.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm just curious, where in Newfoundland did you grow up?
I grew up in St. John's.
Okay, so like the thing. Because my friend, I visited for the first time last year. They live in a nice area. My friend's parents, they're like Portugal.
Oh, Portugal Cove.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That's not far from St. John's at all, really. Honestly, it would probably be the same distance as like maybe just like 10 minutes. Like it's really close, basically the same as St. John's, but it is beautiful. It's right on the coast, and you just see ocean whales, like gorgeous scenery. That's one thing I do miss a lot about Newfoundland is being next to the ocean because I'm landlocked in Nashville and I don't like that.
there's no big body of water there, is there? No, nothing.
There's like a couple lakes, but it's nothing like I grew up next to. I grew up to literally you see the ocean and it goes on forever and ever and ever. Here it's like nothing
Yeah.
compares to that.
Oh, before I forget, I wrote this down. I learned because this is a Newfoundland thing from the show Newfoundland Now. The puppet Gary Weaselton.
Oh.
Did you get interviewed by a puppet once? No.
Oh yes, Gary the
Yeah,
puppet. Okay,
Gary.
Jake Thompson is the guy behind the puppet, and he has a show called NL Now. And his puppet's name is Gary, and I have been interviewed by Gary. Yes, that was a very fun interview. I've never been interviewed by a puppet before. It was really funny because Jake is under the puppet, and I'm so used to talking to real humans that I was like, okay, I actually have to talk to this puppet and not look down at Jake right now, which is really funny. But it was a really fun interview, and it was cool too because I had a lot of kids watch that and had them come to my shows after too, and they're like, "We saw you on the puppet show." It's like that's so crazy.
Well, it's funny because I know you're a bit younger, but I don't know if you remember like Much Music back in the day, like You've heard of Much Music, I
Yes,
assume.
my mom told me all about Much Music. She loved it.
So there used to be a puppet, complete opposite, but his name was Ed the Sock.
Yes, I've heard about the song.
So again, completely different, like very brash, really like in your face, so opposite. But I love that. Yeah, I love that. Is he still he's still doing that in
He's still
Newfoundland?
doing it, yeah, and he doesn't just have Gary. He has like a bunch of puppets. And at first, I thought it was like when I went in and just you see a bunch of puppets everywhere. I'm like, it was a little creepy, but once they start talking, it's fun.
Okay, fair enough. So and again, you said you're putting out new music, but like for the rest of the year, do you think you'll release another song by the end of the year or no?
No, this is gonna be the last one going for broke until the new year, just because I know Christmas is a crazy time in the holidays, and you kind of get lost in all the holiday music. But I'm just gonna keep on pushing, going for broke, and I really want it to have its moment. I think it is like a very moody, smoky song, which is good for this time of year when the fall vibes are all moody and stuff. I love it.
Would you consider, or would you be interested in doing Christmas music, holiday music?
I would. I've done a bunch of Christmas shows before and love doing weird covers, like totally flipping a song from the melody and making up my own little acoustic guitar Christmas cover. I did one with Up on the Housetop last year live, and the audience loved it. So I've been thinking maybe right now I'd have to record it this year and then put it out next year, but I think that would be really fun.
Awesome. And then just to wrap up, I guess for the holidays, are you gonna go home?
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna be staying in Nashville for the holidays, and then I'm gonna be going back to Canada like within the new year, as soon as the new year starts. But my family, they were like, maybe we can have a not white Christmas this year and come to Nashville because it is kind of warm here. It's not super warm, but it'll be probably like 15 degrees in December, which is it's not that in Newfoundland. So they were like, you know what, maybe we'll do that. So I think they're gonna come down for a change and visit me, which is kind of fun because I get to show them around and do all the touristy stuff. And Nashville is super dead in the winter. It is nobody because everyone goes home. Nobody actually is from Nashville, so the streets are just like a ghost town, which is really funny. So I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Interesting. Yeah, I never thought about that. Do you live on your own?
Yes, I live, well, I actually live by myself, but I'm neighbors with all musicians' friends. Like, literally everybody I know here is a musician because this town, I think everyone is a musician. It's hilarious. So I don't feel like I live alone. I'm always with somebody writing songs.
Amazing. No, so you don't feel alone. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, that's I really look forward to hearing more music from you. Again, because
Thank
you
you.
just been doing this for like over three-quarters of your life, it seems like.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, I don't remember a time not doing it. It's so funny. And even when I look at pictures, like memories that pop up, like the other day, one popped up from 3 years ago at the Music NL Awards. And that was like a year before I moved to Nashville. And just so much has happened since then. It feels like a lifetime ago, but it was only 3 years. But yeah, I was 18 then, and I was busting my booty then. So I've always been working since I was a baby, but I love it so much.
No, amazing. Keep it up and all the best. And yeah, I'm sure we'll catch up in the future.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.